Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this evening. My name is Jen Penarski, and I'm the Manager of Communications and Public Engagement here at the City. We're going to be spending some time together talking about introduction to supportive housing in Kingston. City of Kingston has made some really exciting advancements in Council strategic priorities, and we're here tonight to share some information about those priorities. To get us started in a good way, though, first, I would like to welcome Marianne Lyons from Tipi Moza to welcome us to the territory. Marianne?
Yeah, hi everybody. So it is my privilege to be here. Always fun to be with a group and to remind people about Indigenous things. So I would like to welcome you to the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee people who are responsible for taking such great care of the land that we walk on today. To remind us, of course, that it's our responsibility to go forward in the same way. And very briefly, I just want to say that it is the month of the sugar moon. And after a long winter, which I know myself and others have been a little bit whiny about sometimes, because just when we think it's going to be nice, we get another snowfall. But there is a time for everything. And March is the time to look toward rejuvenation and springtime and new growth and so on. So we are coming into the time of the year when all things exciting start to happen. So it's really cool that all things exciting extend to housing. It's a wonderful thing to see this coming into our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Um, So just a bit of context, we had 70 people register for the webinar tonight, and we have 31 people who have taken some time out of this beautiful sunny spring day. So as you get settled, I'm going to do a roundtable of the people who are joining us from both the city and our shelter operators. So their cameras will come on and they'll do a bit of a wave as we do a series of roundtables. So we have Jayne from Housing and Social Services. She's our Director of Housing and Social Services. Um, we have Julie Lambert, who is Manager of Homelessness Services here at the City of Kingston. We have Winnie Peters, Executive Director from Tipi Moza. Andrea Wardell, who is a support worker and team lead with Tipi Moza. And we also have Patty Ridlin, who's Operations Director from Ryandale. So thank you so much. Also joined by my colleague, Miles Brackenbury, who's a communications officer here at the city dedicated to housing and homelessness. So as we head in, we want to share with you some information about supportive housing here in Kingston. If you've joined us at some of our in-person sessions, some of this information you might have seen before, but for those of you who are joining us for the first time to learn about supportive housing, please enjoy the next couple of minutes of videos from the city and our shelter partners.
Okay, thank you for your patience, everyone. And please enjoy this presentation.
What is supportive housing? Supportive housing is affordable housing that is paired with on-site supports. These supports can include help with daily living, connecting to health services, employment supports, and building independence. Supportive housing is designed to help people prepare for independent living at their own pace. It recognizes that people have different needs and timelines and provides stability while individuals build the skills needed to live independently. There is a strong emphasis on building life skills, developing connections, accessing housing and employment opportunities, and becoming involved in the community. Supportive housing is part of what we call the housing continuum, seen at the bottom of this slide. The housing continuum describes the range of housing options available to people, from emergency shelter and transitional housing through supportive housing and ultimately to independent, market, or subsidized housing. Supportive housing sits in the middle of the housing continuum. It acts as a bridge between homelessness or shelter use and fully independent housing. It provides stability and support while helping individuals move toward long-term independent housing success. Who is selected for supportive housing? Residents are selected through the city's coordinated access system, which is a process used to prioritize individuals for housing based on need and to match them with the most appropriate housing option. The goal of coordinated access is not simply to fill units as quickly as possible, but to ensure we are matching the right person to the right housing. This approach helps improve housing stability and long-term success for residents, and this will be done in partnership with the operator, Tipi Moza or Ryandale. Individuals with low to medium acuity levels will be considered for supportive housing at the 3 sites. Acuity refers to the level of support an individual requires to achieve and maintain stable housing. It is influenced by a range of factors, including social or economic barriers, mental health, trauma history, and history of substance use. Individuals may experience one or more of these challenges. Low to medium acuity supportive housing refers to individuals who possess a high degree of independence but require occasional or moderate assistance to maintain housing stability. Referrals take into account the acuity level and several other key factors related to acuity. One factor is the level of need, including the amount of support an individual requires and whether the housing environment can appropriately meet those needs. The goal is to ensure residents are placed in a setting where they have the supports needed to be successful. Another factor is the type and intensity of supports required. This helps ensure the program can provide the level of support needed for the individual to maintain stable housing over time. We also look at the fit with the home and the surrounding community. This means considering whether the setting is a good match for the individual and supports a positive living environment for everyone. These factors help ensure supportive housing placements are thoughtful and appropriate and support long-term housing stability.
Great. And having heard the City of Kingston's presentation, we'll now move on to a presentation from Tipi Moza on their specific model of supportive housing.
Welcome to the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Huron-Wendat people. Tipi Moza was founded in 1989 to serve the Indigenous community in Kingston. We have 5 housing programs under our umbrella: rent geared to income, deeply affordable, portable housing allowances, transitional housing, as well as a new supportive housing program, supporting over 300 individuals and families. Tipi Moza provides cultural connection, prevention and diversion from homelessness, and supports for residents to get back on their feet. Tipi Moza has a small staff employing 7 workers, a cultural support worker, a bookkeeper, and an executive director. Our team will be growing to accommodate the new supportive housing program with an additional 5 support workers and a team lead. Supportive housing is a home with multiple units within one building, where residents have access to support staff. Supportive housing is key in the housing continuum. It improves self-worth, social connections, and health of residents. It also reduces costs for emergency interventions like ambulance, hospitals, shelter services, and alleviates pressures on social justice and healthcare systems. The model provides wraparound supports within the home. Staff can also provide referrals to other community agencies, such as referral to counseling or Indigenous-specific mental health. As operators of supportive and transitional housing, we are aware of the barriers and challenges that our residents face and may affect their housing. The majority of private landlords are not trauma-informed and will not provide the ability to work through challenges. In addition to the wraparound services, Tipi Moza provides a cultural connection to assist in well-being. The connection can be small activities like smudging or bigger outings such as attending powwows. The connection to culture is important for many of our residents, as they either never had the connection or lost it somewhere along their journey. We have received over 420 applications to our transitional housing program since we opened in 2022, and 18 residents have transitioned into independent living. The medicine wheel is an important aspect for the Indigenous community. It encompasses different parts of life: birth, growth, maturity, death, different types of transitional medicines, directions, seasons, and aspects of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Storytelling is an integral part of Indigenous culture. Listening to the stories of residents gives the staff a better idea of past experiences and how to support them best. Move-in process. Residents need to complete an application and then attend an interview for an intake. Once this is complete, they are expected to sign an occupancy agreement, which is very similar to a lease. It has the detailed expectations embedded in it. Since we offer programming and life skills building, the program does not fall under the Residential Tenancy Act. The residents also sign specific attestations to the program rules. The residents are assigned a case manager in the program as their main contact. They have regular weekly one-to-one meetings with them and set goals so they can be successful in the program. We use a token economy in the form of Tipi bucks to build budgeting and other financial skills. Case managers track the residents' stats for completion of expectations. There are no drugs or alcohol permitted on the property at either of our transitional or supportive housing programs. They are considered a dry house. Cannabis is the only exception if the resident has a medical prescription. Residents have to complete programming and chores to increase their life skill capacity. The residents cook for themselves, ensure the rooms are tidy, and communal spaces are clean. The residents have to complete a certain number of chores and hours of programming each week. Guests are only allowed during staffed hours. If a resident is struggling, staff would work with them in a trauma-informed lens, providing various interventions such as warning letters and behavior contracts.
And lastly, we'll now have a video from Ryandale.
It's sanctuary. I feel supported, I feel safe, and I'm not alone. There's a strong community here.
I came here to find a roof above my head, and what ended up happening is I'm a house rep. I'm going back to school for a community social service worker. This has been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Ryandale and what they offer in terms of staff and resources has been a game changer for me and a lifesaver for me.
Ryandale is based in Kingston, and we're dedicated to helping people move from homelessness to stability and independence with dignity. Ryandale provides safe, sober, and supportive transitional housing for individuals who've experienced homelessness, housing instability, and significant life changes. Our homes are more than just a place to stay, they're places to heal, rebuild, and plan for the future. Currently, Ryandale serves men through our transitional housing programs, offering up to 1 year of stable housing in a structured, supportive environment. Our residents are supported by staff and community partners to rebuild confidence, develop life skills, and access health and social supports as they work towards employment or other meaningful goals. Our focus is always on helping people transition into independent, long-term housing. Looking ahead, Ryandale is proud that we are opening Kingston's first truly sober, supportive house for women who have been experiencing homelessness. This new home will fill a critical gap in the community, providing women with safe, supportive, and a recovery-focused place to rebuild their lives.
Ryandale is very much like a community, so when they come in here, they're learning how to trust and how to work together, and they are a little community. If one's not well, I see that the rest of the group is taking care of him, whether they're going to get his groceries or they're coming back and they're all cooking a meal together. All the time I see that this is a very strong, tight-knit community.
At Ryandale, we believe housing is the foundation for change, and together we're building stronger futures for our community.
As a neighbor from Greenwood Park, I was grateful to be welcomed at Ryandale's community barbecue and to meet several of the men living there. Their openness and effort underscored just how vital and complex this work of building community and support truly is. The Ryandale property and our property are backyard adjacent. We don't view that property any different than any other properties in our neighborhood. The residents in the Ryandale home are just like all the other neighbors in our community. Peaceful, respectful, quiet, and would lend a helping hand. We appreciate their smiling faces and friendly waves when we happen to see them outside. We have absolutely no issues or concerns about having a Ryandale property in our community.
One of the best things I will take from this humbling experience is the relationships. Unbelievable. I've met some of the kindest people who have nothing monetarily, but will give you the love, support. Yeah, it's been amazing.